Welcome to Marvel Champions Podcast. It's a podcast about Marvel Champions, the card game. I am your host, Scott, and with me as always, my co-host, Ryan.
I've got something special for you today, my brother.
I'm excited, Ryan.
That's right. As many know, we have been going through the aspects of the game and kind of just breaking them down, looking at some cards, talking about their main purpose, and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, we finished the last aspect recently. So why don't we do a little bonus?
Ooh,
Aspect.
bonus action.
That's right. Bonus aspect for the fans. Everyone's favorite aspect.
Is it the Oops All Basic deck?
Oops, all basic deck. That is right. Because technically you can't do all basic. You have to select a aspect. But oops, I guess I did it anyways.
Yeah, I think that's maybe the statement you have to make is technically this is not an aspect.
That's right, dude. The FFG police were very specific, the FFG lawyers were very specific about what we had to say. I think basic deserves some time, and let's talk about it. So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm pumped for some great cards.
Nice. Now, normally I would ask a question of like, what's the aspect's main purpose? Like, what is its primary focus? But it's basic. It kind of does everything. So I have another question for you, Sky. You ready?
I am ready. Shoot.
What? So basic's kind of like it supports the aspect in the hero. Whatever extra cards you might need, it doesn't matter. It can be thrown in. What do you think is basic's best strength right now in the game in its support?
I feel like it's got a lot of different things. So it does have a lot of allies. So a lot of ally supports there. I think supports it's good. There's a lot of supports. I think one thing we'll probably touch on at some point is a lot of things are kind of trait locked in some cases.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can add some reduction of cost for a lot of people. But it's very specific to their traits. Events, I think, are kind of universal generic, but they're a little bit more expensive because they are kind of generic. Yeah, I feel like basic cards can kind of fill in a couple of gaps. You know, you might have some random attacks or healing. It's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's its purpose. It's to be all over the place so that you can get what you need.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say you touched on it. The actual support type card, I think it's probably biggest strength. It's got a lot of almost staples in a lot of people's decks, and they're good stuff, and it really helps your deck. Well, I say that, and then I think about what really is the most important cards in basic, and that's going to be the main 3 resources.
Yeah, I think that's probably, if you talk about which basic cards included in probably the most amount of decks, you're probably right. It's the double resource cards.
Yeah. So with that, what do you think is Basic's weakness as its way to help the aspect in Heroes?
Well, I was just looking, I said thwart and stuff, but there is not a lot of thwart. There's to the rescue.
There's To the Rescue, one of the OG cards. That came out in the box, right?
I don't think so. Well, maybe no. I can't see how little that is. I can't see the little icon in the corner.
Oh, it says Hulk.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because he can't thwart.
That's a good point.
Seems fitting.
No, 2 costs for 2 threat removal. Not a great cost there.
Yeah, I mean, you got like Hit and Run that came in point, but even then, it's still a little expensive to deal 2, remove 2, thwart.
Yeah. I think thwarting is a big issue with basic. You can't really support. So if you want to thwart, you're gonna have to be creative in the aspects, except for justice. That one's easy to do in. But basic really is not gonna help you much in that compared to say attack. It does a lot better. But in that same vein, I don't know is there any defense events? I think there's only, by the way, there's also emergency for thwart.
Yeah, emergency. And technically, you've got other things like basic spell, awesome card, but you're limited to mystics, right? I do not see
There's one, and I know
warning.
it's there. Is it warning? That's what it is.
When a hero would take any amount of damage, reduce that amount by one.
Now, I think the original card had it as defense, but I don't think it's a defense anymore. I think they
Yeah, I think they
corrected that
took that
later on.
away. Errated that.
If it was still defense, I think it would be better.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you could, anytime you needed to have a defended attack, it's pretty easy to play that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be nice, but because it's zero cost, I wonder if they're like, yeah, then maybe that's just too much for basic. All right, all right, all right. Cool. Let's talk about some of these cards. There are tons and tons of basic cards. So why don't we talk about one of the card types we haven't talked about yet in our conversation today? Side schemes.
Ooh, side schemes. Now, the basic side schemes are probably the best, like most universal, and that's probably basic, right? I guess we didn't really mention that, but basic cards are probably universal. Kind of go
Yeah,
in most people's decks, most heroes' decks.
yeah. It's funny how basic's supposed to be this like, yeah, we can Thor, we can attack. It's just not as good and a little bit more expensive, but you can always use us.
Yeah.
But their side schemes are like, this is our number one option. Like, these are really good.
Right, because every hero kit is dependent on some, usually there's a upgrade or support that's vital and pivotal to making a character work for most characters. So if you can go get that fairly easily and not have to grind through a whole deck pass, they set you up for a lot of success.
Yep, yep. So with that, I would have to say the best one is superpowered training because I think most heroes have an upgrade that's the most important.
Yeah, and I think by it not having the cost stipulation on it, makes it a little bit better than build support.
Yep.
Build support does let you get any support, but superpower training, you go get any upgrade from your identity specific upgrades.
I do like specialized training. It's sometimes tough to get out because it's going to be 5 thwart per player. But if you can get it out and get it done pretty quick, it is very helpful throughout the game.
And it's a little versatile, right? Because if you've got a hero that lacks something, or you've got a hero that you want to make one item a lot better, it can really enhance that. Plus, you get the card draw.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping they can come out with some more basic side schemes. I'm not sure what they would be, but I'd love to see just maybe even more generic versions of maybe some other ones. Like do one that's, get an ally where instead of make the call, it's not make the call.
Yeah, no, it's a call
Backup.
support, call for backup. Yeah,
Call for backup. Instead of getting any ally, you can get an ally costing 2 or less or 3 or less or something like that.
Okay.
Or a healing one, but it just, just downplayed a little bit so you can still have access to those side schemes if you want them. They're just not as good. I feel like there's room for that.
Right, without being locked in the aspects.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right, good talk. Let's just go ahead and just get it out of the way. Let's talk about these resources.
Hey, that's what I was going to suggest. My first question, though, Ryan, is Ryan, have you ever played Everyday Hero? That's still your question.
No, no. It's funny because the other day I actually was looking at this card and I was like, there's got to be a way to play this and it be like really good. And then I just kept reading it and no, I couldn't. I couldn't figure out a way to really make it great, to ever like justify adding it to the deck. So no, I have not played this. The rest of them I have played in some form.
Yeah, the rest of them are really good. Very hero specific in some cases.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely the Power of Flight, hero specific. Power of Mind, hero specific. Strength, Genius, Energy. Those are going to be my number ones for this category. But I think the one we need to talk about is Digging Deep.
Do we need to talk about that one?
We do, because it's something that I've got to get something off my chest, all right? It's something that
Ryan.
I have not addressed in a while. So a while back, I think when we were reviewing Next Evolution, I might have like downplayed Digging Deep a little bit.
Okay.
And I want to double down on that. I don't think it's really a great card, but like I said, I want to double down, but I don't know if I can. I've enjoyed it a lot more playing with other heroes, and there's more. I think we got an email, and it was an angry fan. They weren't really angry, but they were just like, "Hey, there's a lot of great combos you could do with digging deep and stuff," and they were right. They were right. Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it as much.
I I'm with you. I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's for every hero.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You gotta have the right hero response or this or that to make it worth it. If not, it's just another wild resource.
Yeah, yeah. Which I would say it feels like it's maybe a 30 to 40% chance that I actually hit it rather than just drawing it and be like, dang it.
See, that's my thing. I always feel like when I play it, draw it into my hand, unlike the end of the player phase. I'm like, well, that's worthless.
Yeah, yeah. The most fun I've had with it has been with Star-Lord and just butchering my deck with that Avenger card. I forgot what it's called.
Bill for an Avenger. But if you don't have any Avenger,
Yeah, the leadership one.
yeah,
It's
call for
it's
aid,
really good.
maybe something like
Call
that.
for aid. I think you might be right. But yeah, you mill the whole deck. It's like you're guaranteed to hit it. So
Right.
that's why it's so fun.
So Ryan, I guess my real question for you with these resources is the power in all of us. Do you run one or do you run two?
I mean, it depends on the deck. Honestly, I haven't ran Power in All of Us in a while because I feel I don't run a ton of basic. So if I'm not running a ton of basic, I'm not going to be doing Power in All of Us.
There were some X-Men characters that I ran a bunch with because there's a lot of X-Men support, basic supports. A lot of their supports are basic.
Yeah.
I ran a whole bunch for that.
I think it could be very useful if you do a Bishop Lockjaw deck.
Okay.
Being able to pull out Power in All of Us and being able to get Lockjaw, that's a pretty good combo, I think.
Yeah. This is, the power in all of us is like the power of basic. It's the power of basic.
Yeah, just all the basic people. I mean, even the picture, it's Captain America with just some guy.
It's like, look here at these plants. You put the toilet in the wrong place.
He's probably saying like, yeah, that's where the toilet goes. Yeah, the one you just threw that guy through, destroyed it. You're rebuilding this building because you all blew it up.
I just destroyed that toilet. It's like, whoa, Captain. Captain's like, no, like, sorry. I threw a guy into it and it destroyed it.
Man, that must have been a crappy situation for that guy.
Yeah, it's a crappy day.
All right, well, good talk.
Good job. Dominating some toilets.
All right, Scott. Upgrade, support, event, ally. I'll let you choose this time.
Well, let's just work right up the board I'm looking at. Let's go with supports. Or do you want to save them for last?
Do we consider the supports the best type?
Yeah, they're probably the most universal, so let's leave them. So let's go up to events. And we've got a couple of different topics for events for basic.
There's a lot of topics in these events here.
Okay. So why don't you just throw me out maybe some of your top 2, 3?
I'll do 3. And I'm not including any for the sake of our conversation. I am excluding all team up cards.
Perfect, because that was going to be my next topic, so good on you.
I am a huge fan of assess the situation. I think some people don't like it. I really like it for some reason, and I have had some great success with it. Another one, I really like directed force, which is the one that increases a overkill, piercing, or ranged attack by 2. Really nice. And then I think, oh man, there's so many other ones I want to say now. Shoot.
Yeah, you kind of threw out a couple real quick, and then
you know what? I had one I was going to do, but I think ultimately I'm actually going to go with first aid. The action heal 2 damage from any character for only 1 cost. I have found that to be very helpful.
Okay. All right, so I have to pick some stuff. See, you left a lot of non-universal ones for me. I really like Limitless Stamina. It's very specific. to heroes that can actually play because you got to have a 14 printed hit point or higher. But I think it's a really good card.
Super good.
Growing on me lately is multi-talented. I just really like the concept of this card.
Okay. All right.
And then so many that are so situation hero specific. I'm gonna
Probably
go with
athletic conditioning.
that was gonna be my next pick as athletic conditioning, but and it tied with a very close recuperation.
Yes.
So I'm not gonna go.
There's one
What was that?
card. There's one card. You know what it is.
I almost said meditation, but I feel like I can never make meditation work.
Okay, that's fair. All right, give you that one.
This is
Come
tough,
on.
Ryan. Give me one last one to try and pick.
There's one that's really good, only for a select amount of heroes.
See, that's my problem. Is like I would definitely say like basic spell. That card's awesome. We kind of talked about it already.
All day.
But then like spiritual meditation is an awesome card, but it's mystic. It's all these mystic locked cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, take whatever you want as you will. All those cards I said. Play mystics. Okay, I said it.
Yeah, mystics. That is the hidden sixth aspect, mystic.
Mystic, and then all you play is basic spell and spiritual meditation.
That's
There you
all
go.
you gotta do.
You're done.
You're good to go.
So
Yeah, I think there's a few, like you said, there's several just like trait locked ones, like Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It's pretty good if you're doing Avenger. Basic spell,
Right.
mystic, pretty great, and there's several others that are like that. So, all right, you said you wanted to talk about these team ups.
yeah, team ups. So I have a couple like trivia questions for you, Ryan. You
Yeah,
probably already look at them. So team ups concept: two heroes, the team up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do they not all have the two heroes in the card arts? There's two that do not have the two people needed to play the card in the card art. Why is that?
That is a great question. I'm looking right now to see which ones it is. Wait, who is it? Not that one. That one's got him. No, not that one. Not that one.
Do you need a hint?
Daughters of Thanos?
That is one of them. It has Gamora and Thanos, but no Nebula.
Maybe that
I don't know.
she was
Maybe
the
she's like
chair.
maybe she's the chair. Maybe she's like a little like circuit breaker, circuit board in the corner of the chair. I don't know. Maybe she's invisible on the other side of the chair. I don't know.
It's a really good point. Really good point.
All right, one more.
I don't know what the other one is. Oh, it's Order and Chaos.
That is correct, sir. I
Why
guess you could
not?
make the argument like I don't. It's a picture of Quicksilver like with lightning and a pink scarlety aura, but yeah. But I did notice on that art like his hair almost looks like her crest.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Maybe she's like possessed him somehow.
That's possibly. All right.
Now-
So
But since we're talking about art, can I just mention one final thing?
yeah.
It would break my heart if we did not at least give a shout out to our favorite card team up art of Soaring Hearts.
Soaring
Angel
Hearts.
and his Anky Breaky Heart.
Oh, it's true. That mullet,
Oh, it's
amazing.
so good.
Yeah, it's good.
I need to get like can you make me custom sleeves, Scott, and have just the angel mullet on the back of them?
Yeah, it's easy.
All right. Good.
All right, Ryan. Team ups, are they everything they're cracked up to be?
I think they've been very hit or miss. I think overall, I only play them if I'm playing multiplayer and someone has the other one.
So my next question is, do you find them easier to play in multiplayer or solo?
Definitely in multiplayer, no doubt.
The only thing with multiplayer is I feel like usually one of the two people kind of get the short end, the benefit.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's going to be you're losing out on your signature ally.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, okay.
But usually it's
I
like
see what you're
it's
saying,
like
the effects.
put some tokens on this person or put it on this person. It's like, well, my card, I played it, Ryan, so I'm gonna make sure my person gets the bonus. I know they're not all that way.
Yeah.
So my
I
next
mean,
question is, would you rather a hero action or an alter ego action?
ooh,
Because I know in a recent Silk episode we did, I kind of poo-pooed on the team up card, and
yeah, you
then
did.
uh, once you explained it, it was probably a little bit better, but still.
Well, I was looking, since we were talking about this, I was looking that Young Love is also one that's an alter ego, and it specifically says alter ego action.
Yeah,
So, but
because you can't kiss with your mask on.
I guess that's true. Where do we go from there?
So my next question is, do you think it's fair that there's multiple heroes that have multiple team ups?
Let's see. Wolverine has 2. Who else has
Reyna has
more?
2, the Colossus has 2,
Oh,
Phoenix
he
has
does.
2.
Does Phoenix? Oh, does she have a Scott and a? I know
No,
she has an Aurora.
Soul Sisters. Yep. Psychic Rapport. Yeah.
A Psychic. Yeah. It shows how many times I've played that one.
Mm-hmm. And my next question was Psychic Rapport. Do you think it's a good fighting battle strategy to be holding hands, or is the hands needed to psychically be rapport?
They're lifting each other up through the holding of the hands. Or
Right.
he's about to like chuck her off the edge like at someone, but most likely it's probably Phoenix chucking him because she'll
Okay.
just like toss him with her mind.
Maybe she was reading like Colossus' mind and was trying to do the fastball special.
That's true.
It's like, oh no.
Please note on that card art, there's like a face in the background that's kind of creepy.
It is kind of
Yeah.
random. Yeah.
He's like, "Hey guys,
Which is
holding hands, I see."
see your holding hands. Okay.
Yeah, team ups, I think you can take them or leave them. I think they've gotten slightly better, but overall, I think there's still some improvements that they can do to make them more
Yeah.
useful.
I like the concept. I agree with your statement. I think they've gotten better over time. And I think it depends on the team up as whether I'm going to play them or not.
Yep, for sure. Okay, well, I have an important question since we're on team ups. Are you ready?
Yep.
Do I make it hard for you, or do I make it just like a philosophical? I'll make it hard. What team up card is not a team up card?
That is the posse.
Ah, man, of course you knew that.
Dude,
your
I'm so
favorite.
good.
This is your favorite. Well, now the question is, Scott, since it is your favorite card, have you ever played it?
I don't think I've ever had 3 posse members down at the same time in order to play it.
Do you think that at least 3 characters with the posse trait, is that too much?
No, because you're going to have your hero and then 2 other allies. And I know she comes with 2. And then I think there's 2 more. White Fox is 1, and
I know. I did.
Atlas
remember her
Bear is
name.
1. So
There it is.
you do have the ability to play it. Technically, you could play it even if you just had. Well, no, you can't.
You gotta have 3.
Can't play it outside of Domino in current game. If there becomes a different basic posse member, you could play it outside of Domino. But you would need Domino in order to have the 3rd posse member.
Yep.
In current game.
Fair enough. All right. I like it. I like it a lot.
We gotta backtrack just a little bit. Go for Champions. Did you ever play that a whole bunch or like lean into that in order to like be affected by the errata?
No, I did not do the whole where you just basically just replay it over and over again.
Yeah, I'm with you. It wasn't a huge blow for me.
I think it's a great card. I mean, it deserves doing a shout out.
Yeah.
If you're playing Champions, having someone with this is not
All right. Let's jump down to some upgrades.
interesting. I think upgrades are very interesting on basic. Let's see. Let's do the same thing. Give me 3 that you think are the top tier basic upgrades.
Okay. I'm gonna say Endurance.
Okay, I shouldn't have had you go first. All right.
I think depending on your hero, Death Focus is an amazing card.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Ooh, this one's tough. The 3rd one. Everything else outside of that, you get very specific to heroes. I don't know how more universal you can get with some of these,
Mm-hmm.
but you do have a lot of the like honorary cards.
Yep. I feel like we can kind of combine those as one because they're all
Yeah.
the same thing,
I mean,
essentially.
I think like best overall, yet again, Mystics, Sorcerer Supreme, you gotta talk about that with basic upgrades.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it because it's only one card, but Web Warriors are pretty big in the basic world.
Yeah. Yeah, Warrior of the Great Web, that's a good card.
Are you doing Sorcerer Supreme as your number
Yeah.
3?
Just go there.
All right, all right.
Keep it moving
I think
along.
those are good choices. Let me add a few for my trait locked one. I'm a big fan of Ingenuity. I love the resource generation. I like Ready to Rumble. I think I've found some pretty good use out of it. And then oh, some of these I like. I think they're good, but I don't play them as much as I think I do. um, I think cell phone actually is a pretty solid upgrade because it's activating someone and just giving them a boost to their stats.
Okay.
So I think that's not bad.
I do want to give an honorary mention to Target Acquired. That's an
Okay.
amazing
Yeah.
card to be able to like plan for a really bad boost ability.
Mm-hmm.
That card.
I think I want to shout out Plan B. I think it's not terrible because you don't have to do it randomly if you just plan it. But my big question I have for you, Scott, is symbiote suit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got like the thing we didn't talk about. People are probably screaming at their listening device at the moment.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. I think I've only played with this once.
See, it's one of those things like you gotta just like lean into it, right? You either
Yeah.
go hardcore, focus on it, and use the ability of the card. The card is what it does.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just don't know if I can lean in. So I guess that's my question to you, Ryan. Do you feel like it changes the game for you playing it? Like, does it change it more than what you would say a normal playthrough would be?
I don't know if it changes the norm. Let me rephrase it. I don't think it changes how the game feels as in the villain encounter phase, but I do think it changes the hero a decent amount. It can greatly affect it with that plus hand size, especially. I mean, and the basic powers and the 10 health. I mean, honestly, it's pretty big.
Yeah. +1, +1, +1, +1. Because you also get a +1 recovery.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally had a lot of fun playing it. I think it's a good card to have in the game. It's definitely not one you want to play all the time just because it throws things off, but it was fun to throw things off. I will give it that.
Okay, so it's one of those you play every once in a while.
Yeah, if you're looking to just change things up, then for sure, give it a shot. I don't know if all heroes are created equal with the symbiote suit, but it definitely creates some very interesting circumstances.
Yeah. Hey, I guess if you're struggling with a scenario with a hero, that's always an option, right?
Yeah, yeah. Scott, you ready to play your favorite game?
Let's hear it. Let's do it.
Scott, have you ever played telekinesis?
I thought you were going to allies. And yes, I did. I was on a Psylocke kick for a little while.
Scott, have you ever done a telepathy?
Telepathy.
I almost said telepathy. So
Telepathy? I don't think I've done that one. Or it's one or the other. They do the same thing, just one's attack, one's thwart. Can't remember which one I played. So yes to one of them.
Okay. Telekinesis is the attacking one. Telepathy is the thwarting one. All right, Scott. Have you ever played Resourceful?
Yes, I have.
All right, good choice. I don't think it's a bad card. It just hasn't been the most useful in most of my decks.
I think before there was a way to like consistently, for some heroes, get a specific resource type that you need for the hero to do something. That was always a decent one to kind of throw down so you could use it whenever you needed it.
Yeah, fair enough. Have you ever played, this is a combo, Adrenaline Rush or Civic Duty.
Yes, when Quicksilver came out, those were some ones that made him better because you could ready so many times.
I shouldn't have
It's like I played the game before.
wasted my surprise questions on upgrades, because now that I'm looking at him, it's like, well, he's probably played most of these.
Ryan, have you played a pulse grenade?
I have, yep.
Okay. Yeah, I would say most of these you played. Everybody should have played this.
Yeah.
I guess.
Have you ever done the plasma pistol?
Yes, because it's a weapon. It's a cheap weapon. I guess the real question is, Ryan, have you ever played enhanced physique or enhanced reflexes
Yes.
or enhanced awareness?
Back in the old days, my friend.
Yeah, it's true. There's some old cards.
Well, there's always everyone's favorite upgrade that everyone tried to make good, but it's just not. Scott, have you ever played for the final question?
Blood
Tenacity. What'd you say?
Blood Gym.
Oh, I know you've played it, but you didn't like it at all.
Tenacity, maybe early core game when you still kind of had the concept of using basics, what's kind of what you were wanting to do. So, yeah. I've played it. I don't know, it's more of those play it down. If it's the only thing you can play, use it when you need it later in the game.
Yeah. I like the art, but
I would like it to be one, I think. Since you're having to pay the resource to do it.
Yeah, having to basically pay 3 to ready, it kind of gets annoying.
Yeah, I guess you could technically stack a whole bunch of these up to 3 because it does not limit them.
That is true. You could do a giant tenacity, do all 3 in one turn.
You could do a bunch of tenacities and a bunch of civic duty and adrenaline rushes.
Well, there you go. That could be a deck challenge in the future.
Put all 9 cards down.
Yeah. Call it.
And then put down 3 resourcefuls to play for all the physical resource requirement. I guess technically not a requirement, but.
Yeah, maybe we'll call it a city councilman all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Okay, yeah, go with that.
Tenacity, civic duty, adrenaline rush. Just trying to make something happen, okay?
Yeah. Keep going.
All right. I think our next stop is allies. And there's a lot to talk about in the ally department.
There is a lot to talk about. I guess give me I'm gonna change it up a little bit, Ryan. I'm gonna look over some of these and give you some questions. Nick Fury or Professor X?
I don't like this game. This one's a tough one. I have found myself playing Professor X more lately, to be honest. I think it's that 3 versus the 4 cost. I like drawing cards, but by the time I actually pay for Nick Fury, I'm basically losing 3 to 4 cards just to draw another 3 cards. So
yeah,
I think I found that Professor X and confusing the villains and flipping down has been just as effective for me.
All right. Earlier you mentioned a Lockjaw. Do you feel like he's fallen out of favor for most people? People still play him?
Yeah, I think he's always been on the fringe. I think people don't mind playing him, but don't often do. And that includes me. I had him in several decks in the beginning, and then kind of went away from him, and then brought him back with Bishop, and then I've kind of gone away from him again.
Do you want to see more Inhuman traded cards, right?
I think there's definitely a place for that, because I want to say Miss Marvel, isn't she Inhuman, but I think she's Champion, huh?
Yeah, she's the flavor text on Lockjaw.
Yeah, Inhuman. Do we have any other Inhumans?
I don't know. I'm not in the right program to look up the Inhuman keyword, so.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Inhuman ally wave that comes through, where there's several Inhuman allies that come, and maybe they can interact with Lockjaw more or something like that.
Yeah, it's a big team with enough characters to build the whole wave out if you wanted to.
Yeah.
All right. See, I was gonna be like, this team, which one do you play? But there's just too many of them, so. I'm gonna go with Ryan. Have you ever played?
Here we go.
Deathlock.
I think technically yes, but in my heart, no.
Okay. We're gonna stick with some X-Force. How about Pete Wisdom?
Again, I think technically I have played with him, but in my heart no.
Okay. How about Scarlet Spider Kane?
I I have played with him. I distinctly remember playing with him one time.
Okay. All right, Ryan. How about Heimdall?
I have played with him, but it's been a very long time. And I played with him because I think someone had him in a deck, and so I was like, yeah, I'll try him. And then I couldn't get over the 5 cost.
Yeah.
I don't think it was worth it. It felt like it wasn't worth it, at least.
Yeah. All right, Ryan. I'm gonna give you some more either ors. I'm trying to find who else lets you draw a card, but they're all aspect cards. I'm drawing a blank here, man. Get some.
Oh, I
Do you
can.
ever play Long Shot? Let's go there.
Ooh,
Not encounter card Long Shot. Hero or ally Long Shot. Okay. Hope Summers.
yes, I have played her before. I'm not a big fan. Like I think the whole idea that she gains the trait of your identity is cool, but I haven't found it to be as good as just getting someone a part of the trait that you need anyways, if you're planning on doing
Ryan.
some trait stuff.
Yeah. All right, Ryan. Shield gonna come back. Shield box is out now. Do you think that Mockingbird is gonna get some resurgence in play?
I think there's that possibility. Shield, spy, stun, it's not bad.
Yep. All right, Ryan. Who is a basic ally that you could pretty much throw into any deck that you would build?
Any deck? Man, I don't know about any deck. Well, Professor X
Yeah, true.
or Nick Fury, but we'll put those aside because those are kind of like your mentor ones that you can throw in any deck. I think Mockingbird is one you could do because it's very universal. I think Machine Man actually isn't really a bad ally. You just kind of have to play him right.
Okay.
Think of who else is kind of basic.
I think Ironheart's a safe bet.
Yes, that's a good one. Let's go with that one. That'd be my third one.
Okay. All right. Final things. There's a ton of allies. We didn't talk about them all. There's a lot of good ones.
Yes. I will shoot just 3 questions. Let me see. Venom ally. What do you think?
I think he's got a really cool response that hopefully people have done the challenge that you put out, Ryan.
That's right. Plug that in.
Yeah, go do the challenge Ryan did. I don't know if I've ever played him outside of that campaign, but yeah.
Well, it wasn't until I was doing that challenge that I played him, and I had a lot of fun with him. But he's definitely not one to just throw in a deck. You've got to prep for it.
Yeah.
The other one, Scott, I don't know if you've played my new deck that I've been working on. I don't think I've published it yet. That works with Storm.
I've seen you play it. And I don't think I've ever played Storm. I see her value from having watched you play her, but I've just not done it.
Yeah. Outside of the way I've done it, I have not liked her.
She's a commitment to me.
Yeah, but the deck I did, it made it a lot better, and I really, really enjoyed playing with her. Scott, have you ever played Star-Lord?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and say no. Star-Lord in any sense, just stay away.
All right. Last question. I'll do it. I'll bring it up. Is Beak a good ally?
In that he's 2 cost and can take a beating? Sure. In that his response is good. You can't see my air quotes. Good? No. So many people are like, man, Beak's so good. I don't see it.
Yeah. All right. And then my last thing I'm going to say is give a shout out to Cosmo. Cosmo's great.
Oh, okay.
All right. It is time for what everyone's been waiting for. The supports. Let's do. How are we going to make this interesting? Should we do comparisons? Scott, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Avengers Mansion, or Helicarrier. I think those two are like the primary, the most iconic basic supports.
Because if you break it down, cost reduction is similar to getting an additional card. But what if that card you get is the card you need?
No, that's deep,
I
man.
think
That's deep.
I know, right? I think Avengers Mansion overall is better because it can potentially perform both things. If you get that card you need, great. But if it's just a dead card, it still is going to, in essence, reduce the cost of the next card you're about to play. Because you're going to have an additional resource.
Fair enough. All right. What about the X-Jet versus the Quinn Carrier?
I think the X-Jet's better. I think it's better. X-Jet's just overall better because you can give it to anybody.
Yep.
Queen Carrier, you got to use it on yourself.
Yeah, not very fair.
Why would I say everybody? Any other X-Men hero
Yeah, for sure.
or X-Men alter ego that has honorary X-Men or Children of the Atom or other ways to get it.
Here's a question for you. Is there too many X-Men basic supports?
Ryan, there's not enough.
Okay, I'm going to count this. X-Mansion. Weapon, well, I guess Weapon X, that's mutant. So here, how about this? I'll just combine mutant, X-Men, and X-Force, okay? X-Mansion, X-Bunker, Weapon X. I mean, how many X's are there? You kidding me?
The X-Jet.
Utopia, X-Jet.
Cerebro. Danger Room. Okay, I think that's it.
You said Danger Room. You said Children of the Atom?
Yes.
You didn't say Children of the Atom.
I mean, I said it earlier.
You said Cerebro.
And Children of the Atom.
So that's what, 11?
That's a ton.
That's like half of the...
Which is crazy to think about. Like before the X-Men waves, there was only a handful of basic supports.
And I don't think there's one that's two Avenger specific. Huh, pretty crazy stuff. All right, let's I do need to mention one more support. Team building exercise. How many are you taking into a battle?
Just one copy.
Oh, okay, you're not doing
Maybe two if it really hinged on me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think the supports are pretty powerful, and often at least one is in a deck.
Do you think that the Bifrost should have had a cost reduction to the ally you play?
Yes. I feel like there should have been something else. And now I could see it like if you use it for what is it? Is it Angela?
Yeah, Angela. She didn't have a cost.
You could do that, but I think because there's no cost reduction and it has to come from your deck, that there should be something else with it to kind of make it more enticing.
Yeah. Ryan, you missed IPAC. That's an X-Force support.
Oh, is that an X-Force? Oh, yeah, it is. Well, look at that. They've got 12. Yeah, man, that's a lot. Web of Life and Destiny, that's awesome.
That's a good one.
Sky Destroyer's not too bad if you're doing all shields. Gonna get better with this shield expansion.
Yep. Yeah, Silk coming out too. There's all these Web Warrior, a lot of basic stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's some good stuff. All right, Scott. That's all of the basics. So our final question, where do we take basic from here?
I don't think you mess up what it's going right with it. You create supports and allies and things around new traits.
Yeah.
That's what basic does.
Do you kind of focus more on going into the traits, or do you try to stay more generic for most heroes?
Well, that's the thing with basic is it fills in, it trait locks so much, and that is basic. When you don't want to aspect lock an ally or card, you throw it into basic and trait lock it.
It's getting locked somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard rumblings from other people that have talked about how basic kind of has become super powerful, and you can just run basic and you often find better decks. And I don't think FFG wants that. So I'm wondering if they do, like you said, kind of focus in on trait locking things to try to minimize the accessibility of basic to basically be an aspect.
Well, I think trait locking, it locks it out of most heroes, right? It's so the basic card doesn't become so universal. It's used on everyone. It's only used on those that can actually benefit from it.
Yes.
We've talked about those mystic traded cards. If you didn't have mystic trait locks on those would just be included on everybody's deck.
Yeah, I think that's like the natural progression, because basic in the past was, hey, if you're not playing Justice, here's some Thwart or something like that.
Right.
Kind of fill in those gaps. But as those aspects have changed and developed, it doesn't serve that role as much anymore. So it kind of needs that trait lock to kind of keep it relevant.
Yeah. And it just, if you want to play a card, it's like, well, I need to go back and play a Web Warrior that I haven't played in a long time, or I need to play a Guardian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I gotta play Space Knight,
Space Knight. Yeah. I think Basic's good, and I'm excited to see what comes in the future, if they do any changes or they kind of just keep it as the catch-all.
Ryan, do you think we're just gonna see a bunch of reprints with Legacy and Current?
Probably.
Yeah, we'll see a decent amount.
Yeah, Basic has a lot of reprint stuff, so.
Yeah, it is Universal, Ryan.
That's right. And not the fun theme park Universal.
Yep. All right. Any last basic words, Ryan?
Go play the game.
That's right. Play the game with all basics except for one aspect card, so you're legal.
That's right.
And tell us how it went.
They will come get you.
Yeah, they will.
That's what I heard.
We want to hear our listeners' favorite basic ally. That's what I want to know.
It's a good one.
And you can reach out to us at marvelchampionspod@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on other social media, Facebook page. I'm not a great Discord person, so you're welcome to hit me up on there. And I may or may not see it, acknowledge it. I don't know.
This is a great way to show off, like, hey, communicate with us. We may not respond, but hey.
Well, not that I won't respond, it's just for like a long time I didn't have like notifications on, so
yeah, that happens. Well, what happens to me with Discord is I will turn off notifications for some channels and then somehow get turned back on, and I'll just get non-stop notifications. I'm like, just stop.
They're probably
have
like,
a life.
You idiots, you could do this. So I just haven't put enough energy and effort into it. So reach out to us, Basic Ally. Let us know who's your favorite. Doesn't even have to be like the best, strongest. Just who's your favorite. And as always, if you want to go from a basic chump to a basic champ, listen to the Marvel Champions podcast. Thanks.
I liked what you did there, my basic friend.